Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about a framework to career decision making that's near and dear to my heart called the CASVE cycle and apply it to a population who is also near and dear to my heart, cancer patients. At the end of this, you should be able to understand the career development barriers which cancer patients encounter and then be able to utilize a theory-based tool in assisting them with career decisions. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll start with providing some background of the importance of career counseling cancer patients. First of all, the disease is prevalent. I'm willing to bet all of our lives have been affected by cancer in some way, and in 2012, over 12.7 million people were diagnosed with cancer around the world. Battling a life-threatening disease is challenging, physically, mentally, and emotionally. While medical advancements are continually improving the longevity and quality of life for cancer patients, individuals still encounter challenging career decisions related to their illness. Work can provide important financial sustenance, but it also gives us a sense of well-being, productivity, and emotional support. Feeling like you have to abruptly lose all of that can be pretty traumatic, and there is a uniform series of steps that you can walk clients through to provide some order to all of the chaos going on in their life. So the CASVE cycle is a critical piece of the cognitive information processing approach to career decision making and problem solving, and it's an acronym for each step involved, starting with communication, analysis, synthesis, valuing, and execution. You can see those titles aren't listed on the diagram below because those are the corresponding descriptions of the client version. We're going to go through each step and apply it to a hypothetical case study of Shelley, who is a 40-year-old full-time nurse and mother of two. All cancer cases vary in terms of severity, treatment, resources available, etc., but this approach is very personalized and can be adapted to anyone. And while this intervention can seem pretty mechanistic, it's important to note that you're validating emotions and empathizing with clients the entire time. So we start with the communication phase, which is realizing a choice must be made. It comes at different points for different people, is prompted by other people and events as well as internal cues, and involves some emotionality. So let's take it back to our example client, Shelley, a nurse who feels rewarded in her daily interactions with patients and is financially comfortable. Shelley received the difficult news that she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, but her doctor has high hopes for her treatment. She's feeling completely paralyzed and terrified to begin a long-term treatment consisting of chemotherapy and radiation. Her husband is begging her to quit her job immediately and rest at home for the duration of her treatment and enjoy time with her two children. So you can see that her internal feelings of paralyzing shock and fear is blending with her husband's desires and pressures, as well as her doctor's words, and Shelley knows that a career decision is one among many that she has to make. So now let's kick it to step 2, analysis, or understanding yourself and your options. The self-knowledge component consists of what you value, what you like, and what you're good at. And the options knowledge component consists of knowing what's out there for you. How we are thinking about this decision is important too. If a client is saying, I'm just going to die anyways, or I have no value now that I have cancer, it's unlikely that they're going to be willing or able to really process what they want and their options. So it's important to empathize, but also challenge negative or unrealistic thoughts before you delve into exploration. With such a big life change like cancer, it's important to start over in examining values, interests, and skills. Things can change with a diagnosis. So through a conversation with Shelley, she articulates that while she adores her family, she values her work a lot and gets a lot of meaning from helping patients and doesn't know if she can go a whole year without doing any work like her husband wants. She said her biggest value and interest is helping people, and she loves the medical field and is good at talking and communicating with others. She says she likes being on her feet a lot too, but knows that this will be limited due to her treatment. Clients' prognoses may prompt them to need to remove themselves from the workplace entirely, and we want to be realistic here. But clients could also become self-employed, work from home, obtain part-time employment, look into job sharing, or shift careers. The key piece is to really explore a multitude of options instead of just knowing you need to make a choice and then making one in 30 seconds. So in this stage, you synthesize the exploration you did in the analysis stage. Now that we know that Shelley really values helping people, loves her job, loves her family, is good at communicating with people, and knows a lot about the medical field, we have to make sense of that in terms of her options. We need to get Shelley to elaborate on her options and make sure that she doesn't see this as either I quit my job or I keep my job. Shelley doesn't think that she can keep her full-time nursing job because after her first chemo treatment, she knows she doesn't have the stamina to stay on her feet all day, and for her own health, she cannot be around sick people. So together you brainstorm. Shelley's boss told her about working from home as a medical call center representative, which she likes the idea of because it matches her communication skills and values and interests in helping people medically. She's also considering working shifts at the hospital when she feels well, or volunteering at various places during breaks in her treatment. Shelley also is keeping full-time rest and recuperation as an option to ensure she progresses well and can enjoy time with her husband and kids. So we've got about 4 options that fit Shelley's values, interests, and skills, and it's time to move on to the valuing stage. Now we get to the actual choosing. The valuing stage prompts us to consider how our choice is going to impact us, our loved ones, and larger communities. You do want a front-running choice as well as a backup plan. It's important to realize, especially with a life-threatening illness, anything can happen, and we need to be flexible yet prepared. So after Shelley talks with her husband and kids, she knows she wants to give working from home a try because she wants to keep making a difference in people's lives. She says this is what's going to keep her going day by day, and she has researched a company that allows her to set her own hours. However, her second choice is to not be employed at all and help others through volunteering when she feels okay. She knows that this could really impact her family financially, and money may be tight for a while, but luckily her husband's income can get them through this time. So we've got our decision and our backup plan, and it's time to implement. So we're almost there. It's time to plan, try out, and apply. Shelley has done some research on her first choice of becoming a medical call center representative, and she knows she meets the hiring criteria and likes the sound of the job, but still has some questions about it. So you encourage her to information interview someone in the field so she can gain a better idea of what she can expect if she got this job, as well as strengthen her application materials and network, which is a huge part of career counseling. Shelley is nervous about answering the potential interview question, "What made you leave your last job?" because she fears that they won't want to employ a cancer patient. So it's up to you to really coach her through this and do things like mock interviews to build her confidence. I want to plug an amazing website here that has practical advice on how to handle these types of interview questions and how to market yourself on a resume and job search when you have cancer or are a survivor. It's called cancerandcareers.org. It's super comprehensive and will be a great resource not only in the execution stage, but all points of the CASVE cycle. So now, Shelley's done her info interview, you've coached her through the job application process, and she gets the job. It may seem like our work is done here at the E of the CASVE cycle, but we do have one more stop. And that is communication revisited. As this is a cycle, after executing our decision, we go back to the communication stage for a check-in. How's Shelley doing after her first rounds of chemo and radiation? Is she managing her treatment, family time, and new job okay? Is she having any feelings of regret about taking this job on, or is this helping her feel productive and meaningful during a scary time? How is her family dynamic? What do her husband and children think of her career now? Although the appeal of the CASVE cycle is that it's a well thought out and comprehensive decision-making strategy to help us make a great choice, we have to evaluate afterwards and see how it's going on many different levels and determine if we need to enter the cycle again, and if so, which step to start at. That was a brief overview of one way to help cancer patients make career decisions, and I do emphasize brief. There was so much more to cover with this subject, and if you want to check out more, you can go to my blog at cancerandcareers.wordpress.com. I hope you guys enjoy.